This is a very good start to the stream. Well, I'm trying to get into the lobby for tier 4, but doesn't seem to be going to plan. But yeah, I'll try to get back in as soon as possible. Right, here we go. Right, here we are, back in the session. So, Communist is currently on provisional pole from Chaz F1 by less than a tenth of a second. And then JRT Charlie in third, FGE Barker in fourth, who is, just going into the pit lane now. We've got Fast Scopes in P5, who's on outlap currently. Oh, he's just spun into the wall and he's out of the session. So his best time will be a 44.3. Mazepin on an outlap. Rusty Leaf is P7 currently. Fire King, Thrasher, Aronok on, well, and now Fast Scoped as well, all out of this session. So I think that Joseph F1 will be the first person to start their next lap. Well, to start their first lap of this next run. I mean, so yeah, we'll go on board for his lap. Bit of a track guide around around Spa. So coming into the final chicane, he's probably going to take it takes a wide line through the final corner. Prepare the exit onto the pit straight, opening the DRS on the run up to turn 1, braking a bit before the 100-meter board. Turns in very early there, causing him to run off track. Does keep it valid, but that's not a perfect turn 1. Now, probably the most famous corners in Formula 1, up Eau Rouge and through Radion. Onto the Kemmel straight, opening DRS. This is a perfect opportunity to make an overtake in the race, and I'm sure that it will be a popular place for that. Braking at the 50-meter board into Les Combes, and Joseph has spun. Very easy to do on them curbs. You just got to hit them at the wrong angle, and the car goes flying. But you know, we'll let Communist take over for the second part of the lap. He manages to avoid the curbs. Both the right-hander and the left-hander can spin you. Carrying as much speed through there as possible. Braking at the start of the curve for this, very easy to lock up, but a lot of these drivers do use ABS, I believe. Now through No Name, very easy to invalidate on the exit there, but he's done it very nicely, and now we're on the way through Pouon. A bit of a lift through there, just trying to keep as much minimum speed as possible. Now into this chicane. You do want to either take as much curve as possible or none at all. You know, taking the wrong amount will spin you out, so he just plays it safe and avoids it. Purple through the middle sector, half a second up on his previous best time. Just flat out all the way until the bus stop chicane now. Through Blanchimont, which is obviously flat out. Now down into the bus stop chicane, braking at the 100-meter board. Not wanting to take too much curb on either of the two corners. Gets a really nice exit, and coming up to the lines of 142.8 for the Mercedes driver. And the next person on the lap, I believe, was no, Mazepin has, he has gone P4 with 43.8. Got Alfa Romeo, is that? Yeah, Rival Jake starting a lap now. There is also a Haas of Sam the Nick, who is invalidated. You're at FGE Barker now through the second sector split, 1.5 seconds up on his time. He will be getting a slipstream off of one of his mates, JRT Charlie. Yeah, it wouldn't have helped him massively, but it will, benefit him slightly. Now into the bus stop chicane. Oh no, Charlie's hit him. Charlie's hit him into the final couple of corners. Have they both escaped a penalty there? I know they've both got damage, but I don't think anyone received a penalty, which is very fortunate for them, as Joseph F1 is round again, as is Chaz F1, and Chaz is out. Chaz is out of the session. Joseph has gone off as well. Oh, there might have been, there was almost a collision there, but yeah, we saw Chaz lose it at the same spot as Fast Scoped earlier on in this session. Rusty Leaf doesn't improve on his time. Ritzy Buffalo now out of the final corner. Oh no, he's invalidated as well. 43.9. White boy Jake just finishing off a lap out of the final corner, opening the DRS, and he goes P3 with a 43.5. Now for one last time, most people are in the pit lane. Rusty Leaf is going for another lap on the medium tyres. He has been on them tyres for 3 laps now. Oh yeah, he just runs out wide and invalidates. Ritzy Buffalo, I think, is going for another lap as well through No Name. Does that very nicely. Now coming down into P1. Is he going to run it wide? No, he manages to keep it on the track. Carrying a lot of speed through there. And now through the very tricky chicane, almost losing the rear after taking that curb. Not wanting to run too wide through here, as you can easily invalidate your lap, and Ritzy does do so. I'm pretty sure that Rusty Leaf is going to come into the pit lane now. Oh no, Rusty Leaf stays out. The guy's doing a race stint in qualifying. Mazepin has gone out of the pit lane and is on his out lap now. And I expect to see a lot of other people coming out of the pit lane now as well. Sam the Nick will be starting a lap now. So coming out of the final corner on the soft compound of tyres. It hasn't got a time in yet. He has time for 2 laps. But if the first one's good enough, he may only need that. Now just turn 1 very nicely, not going off the track, which can on the outside, which will slow you down a lot. Now up through Eau Rouge, not wanting to take too much curve on the inside, not wanting to take, not wanting to steer. Okay, I can't speak. Not wanting to steer too much either, as it can easily make you lose the car, and if you lose it up there, it is a big crash, and you are most likely out of the session. Through Lake Hom. Now he hasn't invalidated, which is crucial for him. You know, just a decent lap time, and he'll be inside the top 10. He looks to be playing this. Well, he looks to be taking this lap very safely, which, you know, I can't really blame him for. And braking at the start of the curb here. does that very nicely as well. This has been a very decent lap from Sam the Nick, I think. Through the middle sector split, it's a 15.2. Does run it out slightly wide there, having to switch off the throttle. But now it's flat out all the way down to the bus stop chicane. And here he goes into the final couple of corners. Downshift into second gear. Is it enough for a top 5? Top 7. 44.1 for Sam the Nick. The next car, Joseph, starting a lap. There's a Mercedes of Communist who will also be starting his lap. There is Mazepin, who is already on a lap though. As Communist is out of the session, I think he has just pulled into the pit lane. I think that he thinks that might be pole for him already. Mazepin is up by 2 tenths through the middle sector though. That would, he can maybe get a top 3 here if he has a good final sector. Down into the bus stop chicane now. Slight lock up through there. In second gear. Into third, fourth, fifth, sixth. It's P4 for the Aston Martin. Joseph has retired now. JRT Charlie on a lap. Yeah, we've only got 3 more people doing laps in this session as Joseph has crashed. JRT Charlie through No Name now. Currently P5. Only 2 tenths away from P3. And then only 3 tenths away from getting himself on the front row. Through this very tricky chicane. Runs slightly wide for the left-hander. But now he'll be approaching the second sector split. Now he's up on his time by almost 2 tenths of a second. Is this going to be enough for the front row? Ritzy Buffalo has retired now, so he will be starting P13. JRT Charlie into the final chicane now. Third gear to get that better traction up to the line, and he does go P2, 143.1. But what can Barker do about it? Up to the line now to the 43.6 and goes P6. So, the qualifying order, P1 and pole for Communist MV. I don't know how many times I've had to say that already this season. And we're only halfway through, I believe. JRT Charlie, P2. Chaz F1, P3. Y-Boy Jake, P4. Mazepin, P5. FGE Barker, P6. P7 is Sam the Nick. Fast Scoped in P8. Rusty Leaf 29 on the mediums. I think he did about 5 laps on them in the end. Goes P9. And Joseph F1, the amazing and wonderful commentator, not doing so well at the driving part. 2 minutes 6 lap time, obviously didn't get a proper lap in, rounds out the top 10. Fire King, Thrasher, Ritzy Buffalo and Aaron Ocon all with no time set and have a free tyre choice for the race. Right, and here we go to start the formation lap. So Communist will lead us away. Obviously all the top 10 other than Rusty Leaf will be starting on the soft compound of tyre. I believe it's dry the whole way through. But, well, let me just look at what the people outside the top 10 have gone for. So, Fire King has chose mediums. Thrasher, his teammate, has done the opposite and gone for soft. Ritzy Buffalo for mediums as well, and Aaron Ocon has also gone for soft. Oh, I've been told rain at the end of the race. Like we saw at Silverstone, will it hit a bit earlier? We'll have to wait and see. But maybe being on the mediums, it could work either way. You know, you could have to, like, you could have to hit off of them. Like, well, you might want to stay out on them, but have to pit off of them and lose a lot of time. Or, you know, being on the softs is the right thing. Just doing your normal soft medium strategy, and then the rain isn't actually strong enough at the end. Alright, let me just pull up the Twitch chat, see if anything's been said. Right, so Communist almost at the end of the formation lap. Just gotta try and get as much heat into them tyres. He's just gonna want to stay in front for turn 1 and then push in the first 2 laps. Try and get out of the DRS range before it is activated on lap 3, and then try and break away from the field then. So, Communist MV in the Mercedes pulls up to his grid spot. And Aaron Ocon at the back of the grid does the same now. So, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here in Belgium. Communist gets away well. Charlie having a bit of a slide out of off the line and does drop far back, and there is damage to a car as Red Bull has gone off of the track. That may be Charlie. Communist still leads, but Chaz and Jake are going side by side of Eau Rouge. Chaz is in front of the Alfa Romeo though and gets the move done. Why Jake does spin off though. He spins off at Radion and he's out of the session. And there is a big battle even further back. Sam the Nick has been passed by Mazepin. I think Rusty Leaf goes down the inside. And there is a bit of contact. And also Sam the Nick is on his outside. Oh, and there's Rusty Leaf again having contact. Sam the Nick stays ahead. JLT Charlie's around with even more damage, I think. And Joseph F1 all the way up into P5 now, making a move on his teammate. GSR Thrasher up to P7. And Rusty Leaf is dropping really far back now. Ritzy Buffalo alongside FG Barker into P1. That's not a usual place to make a move, but someone has gone round, and that's Fire King in the Williams. He has spun, and we have got a virtual safety car here in Belgium. Right, so a brief moment to catch my breath back. Let me just look at the position changes. So Communist obviously stays the same. Chaz up 1, Mazepin up 2, Sam the Nick up 3, Joseph up 5, Thrasher up 6, Fast Scoped and Rusty Leaf up 1, Ritzy up 4, Barker down 4. Aaron Ocon is up 3. Fire King down 1. Jersey Charlie down 11. Aaron Ocon has just gone off at the final corner though. He's got no front wing on that Alfa Romeo. I've got to try and get Ritzy Buffalo back in the session though. Oh, he's never mind. He's already back. So Charlie, Barker and Aaron Ocon all into the pit lane. And anyway, we are back racing here in Belgium. Sam the Nick on the back of Mazepin. Rusty Leaf in the wall though, and his tyre is gone. He's spun at Lake Arm. Very easy to do, and I'm guessing he's just hit the curb and that sent him. Sam the Nick has got past Mazepin and has now got to chase the front 2. He's up into the podium places. Joseph going a bit wide, and now GSR Thrasher takes advantage of that. On the inside of Pullon, Joseph surely not going to try and hang it around the outside. No, he has to concede the place. I can't really see any gaps at the moment. Oh, Joseph is around. I don't know if he's hit the curb or if that was from contact, but he is around. GSR Thrasher gets a switch back on Mazepin and goes up into P4. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't see the gap, so I'm not sure how far apart everyone is. But now Fire King not too far behind. Mazepin maybe going to try and go for a move on Thrasher, but it seemed like he lifted off there. Maybe he just wanted to stay behind, get the DRS for this next lap up the Camel Straight. No, he's going to come into the pit lane. He must have got damage. Alright, here we go. We're beginning to get the gaps back. So Fire King is within the DRS of Ritzy Buffalo, and Joseph... oh no! Joseph's round again. He must have just had warm tyres. He's in the air, but he's not out of this race. Obviously reduced damage in this, so only damage to the tyres and the front wing. And he's definitely been let off the hook there, as yeah, he's got literal air time, as Ritzy Buffalo is in AI. Well, not anymore. So Fire King is going to look for the move down the inside. Ritzy allows him to get that move by running wide. Is that going to give him a better exit? No, Fire King has the place. But now here comes Ritzy again. Fast out of No Name. Into Pullon. Fire King holds it around the outside. That's not something you see a lot. But in the end, Ritzy Buffalo does keep that P6. Ritzy Buffalo runs off track slightly, and that is going to just bring Fire King closer to him. Fire King with 90% ERS. Surely he's going to be able to make the move on the Camel Straight next lap. Oh, it's lap 4 and my voice is already going. I'm not a fan of this. Now Fire King just needs to set himself up for a good exit out of here. With the help of the DRS, he is going to close up to Ritzy Buffalo. Oh, Chaz is out. Chaz is out of Eau Rouge. We saw Joseph do it. We saw White Boy Jake do it. And now there is a full course safety car. Yeah, so Communist on the medium tyres. Ritzy stays out on the medium tyres. Let me just put the tyre details on. Sam the Nick on mediums. Thrasher mediums. Fast scoped mediums. Mazepin on hards, which he pitted on for last lap. Fire King has gone for fresh hards, obviously pitted off of the mediums. Joseph F1 on mediums as well. FG Barker on mediums. Aerolock on softs, and JRT Charlie is on mediums. So looking at penalties, well, so when I was coming to the pit lane, actually, that's Fire King into the pit lane and Aaron Ocon into the pit lane. Penalties. Sam the Nick got a drive through. Oh no, that's unfortunate for him. Aaron Ocon with 3 seconds already as well. So that means that Thrasher is on for another podium. That's if it all stayed like how it is after Sam serving his drive-through, which, you know, in Tier 4, it's definitely unlikely that it will stay the same. JFT Charlie hits Barker for the second time today. Obviously, we saw it happen in qualifying. So the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Communist MV will be the man leading it, followed by Ritzy Buffalo and Sam the Nick. Will we see more carnage on the Kemmel Straight like we did on the first lap? Of course we will. Mazepin and Joseph F1 now have collided, and Communist using the grass. That's not optimal. Just getting some temperature into his tyres last minute. as the safety car will enter the pit lane now, and Communist has gone now into the final chicane. He has caught Ritzy Buffalo lacking, and it's already a 1.5 second gap out of the front. But Ritzy Buffalo leads Sam the Nick by 8 tenths, and it is still closer further back as JFT Charlie is on the back of Joseph F1. And now we go up Eau Rouge for the first time since the restart. I think everyone's made it through this time. Yeah, we've not got any yellow flags. No overtaking just yet, but obviously we have got everyone very close together. One mistake and you will have a car up your inside, as we've just seen from Joseph F1. Ran a bit wide in that corner, and now JRT Charlie is straight at him. And this is all just inviting Barker into the fight as well. Through P1, he's 5 tenths behind. Wait, no, he's 3 tenths behind him. And Barker is now 2 tenths behind Charlie. He's had a very good run out of there. We've got yellow flags further back, and that's Aaron Ocon who has gone round. JRT Charlie does run, well, almost runs off of track. But now they are all overtaking Mazepin. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Maybe the hard tyres just aren't heating up well. But JRT Charlie is 2 tenths behind Joseph F1, and FGE Barker is 2 tenths behind JRT Charlie. Sam the Nick comes into the pit lane to serve his drive-through. JRT Charlie has got the switch back on Joseph F1. Is he going to go for the move into turn 1? He looks for it, he goes for it, brakes later. Forces Joseph as far wide as possible. And does get the move done before Eau Rouge. But now, oh, okay, I've been disconnected. Well, that is absolutely wonderful. Attempt about number 4 now of trying to commentate this race. We're only on lap 8. You know, disconnected twice in quali, and now just then. Right, so we are back in the session. Let me just try and catch it. Joseph F1 must have had another spin, because he is all the way down in P11 now, and I believe he is without a front wing. Yes, he is. I'm presuming he's crashed up Eau Rouge, as GSR Thrasher had. Definitely not the first person we've seen do that. I think that brings the total up to number 4 or 5 now. As FG Barker has got past JLT Charlie, and Joseph F1 has now retired from the session. So Communist has he's just left these guys for dead. But the battle for P2 is well and truly on. FG Barker is run slightly, well, quite wide through, I believe it's Stavilo, but I'm not going to call it that every lap because I don't actually know. Aero Aaron Ocon has now spun. I don't think he will have damage, maybe. No, he doesn't have any that I can see. But now Barker putting the pressure on Fast Scoped, forcing him to run slightly wide through the bus stop chicane. It will be difficult for him to get the pass done, as Fast Scoped has got DRS from the Aston Martin of Ritzy Buffalo. But now up Eau Rouge through Radion. FG Barker literally pushing Fast Scoped up Radion. He goes to the outside, almost touching wheels. FG Barker on the outside, brakes way later, and does get the move done, and is up into the podium places, and is a net P2. Well, without his penalty, he's a net P2 anyway. But straight away, he is putting the pressure on Ritzy Buffalo now. It does look like he just went off track there, though. That might be another warning for him. He's already had that penalty, so he's going to have to watch out. I think that Barker's surely going to get past on the next lap. He gets very close to the back of Ritzy. Almost goes straight into the back of him. He hits the wall on the outside. He just carried too much speed and has gone straight into the barrier. But I don't think he picked up any damage miraculously. I know. Oh, never mind. He must have. He's running very wide. But now pushing Ritzy Buffalo. He's going to try and go around the outside to the bus stop chicane. And, yeah, it does have to pit. So, he must have got damage from that. But now JLT Charlie is right on the back of Fast Scope now. Both of these two will be pulled closer towards Ritzy Buffalo if they can just stay in the DRS. So that means it will be very difficult for JLT Charlie to make the pass. But once again, he is very close to the back of Fast Scope out of Radion. Fast Scope just can't seem to get that move, get that corner well, and always loses time in the exit. Have they come together though? Yes, they have. JLT Charlie was on the inside and just wasn't left too much room, and is now facing the wrong way and drops down to P5. He has got Sam the Nick right behind him now though. JLT Charlie will have very hot tyres, so now is the perfect time for Sam to put the pressure on. Don't forget, there will be rain at the end of this race. And if we have another safety car especially, it should become a factor. But Fast Scoped. And Fast Scoped right in the back of Ritzy Buffalo now, just a tenth between the pair of them. He has way more ERS to use. He's going to go down the inside of the bus stop chicane. No, switches to the outside. Brakes way later than Ritzy Buffalo and gets the move done. What a move by Fast Scope. And he has the DRS for the home straight. But Ritzy will come right back at him into turn 1, Willie. Very close to the back of him, but just doesn't go for the move. But he will now have the DRS up the Kemmel straight. We've seen Fast Scope struggle through Eau Rouge and Radion, and we've seen it again as Ritzy does catch up to him. We've got JLT Charlie and Sam further back battling, but here goes Ritzy Buffalo with the DRS, goes to the inside and he's ahead of Fast Scope before the corner, and it is Ritzy Buffalo in P2 and Fast Scope back in P3. But now Sam the Nick around the outside of JLT Charlie with the DRS. And that is once again a very simple move with the help of the DRS. Mazepin and Barker further back are going at it. Mazepin with the DRS and the slipstream goes to the inside and goes ahead of FGE Barker. Is Barker going to try and hold it around the outside? No, he does concede the position. But now Barker with a great exit. I don't think that was a gap to go for, because now he is in the wall and has had another spin. Fast scope though, still 3/10 behind Ritzy Buffalo. The Communists' lead at the front has now extended up to 12 seconds. He's been untouchable today. Even with a safety car, no one can stop him. But now Fast-Scope with a great exit out of the final corner and is going to get ahead of Ritzy Buffalo at time. You want to, but it doesn't seem to have had too much of a negative impact on Ritzy Buffalo, as he is going to come straight back at him up the Kemmel Straight if he could just get Eau Rouge and Radion right. GFT Charlie and Sam the Nick are also fighting still. Sam the Nick is going to go round the outside of Eau Rouge, surely not. No, he does back out of it. Fast Scope has been overtaken again by Ritzy Buffalo on the Kemmel Straight, and Ritzy does lead ahead, lead again. There we go. And back to Sam and Charlie. Sam is the leader. He is the leader of the pair of them. Well, and that's a mistake. That's a mistake from Fast Scoped, and the gap is down to 0.8 of a second now. Back to JLC Charlie and Sam the Nick. The gap is 0.5 of a second. So, JLT Charlie and Sam the Nick are still going at it. JLT Charlie goes to the inside of the bus stop chicane and does get the move done on Sam the Nick, unless if he can fight back on the exit. I think that Charlie has got the DRS. Ritzy Buffalo has been passed by Fast Scope, but I think that they're going to just swap places again after the Kemmel Straight, as we've seen them do so much. Sam the Nick is going to come back at JLC Charlie. He has got the move done before Eau Rouge, and will he have the DRS? We'll have to go back and see. But Ritzy Buffalo now goes to the inside of Fast Scope, brakes later than him, and there is a bit of contact between them. Fast Scope holds it around the outside and has the move done, and now leads the pair of them through sector 2 and 3 for the first time. Right, so JRT Charlie, wait no, Barker and Aaron Ocon, them two are now well close together. Aaron Ocon runs it off the track. And now, yes, this is what Fast Scope knew he could do once he got ahead of Ritzy. He has already pulled the pin and got out of DRS range. Ritzy just waiting for that rain to fall, but it doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. But obviously anything can change very quickly in this game. And JRT Charlie with the DRS decides to not use it, as he wants the DRS up the Kemmel Straight, as we've seen so much in this race. Sets him, well, prepares the exit, not using any ERS yet. He has 90, they both have 90%. Now, Charlie, with the DRS, activates it now. Will he use any ERS? Yep, he will, and he has got the move done into Les Combes. Does hit that curb a lot, and that will have unsettled his car a bit. But now the clouds have just seemed to get a lot darker, and that is perfect for Ritzy Buffalo. Someone is off. Oh, that is fast scoped. He has spun off after having such a good race. And JRT Charlie and Sam the Nick both go past him. So that relegates fast scope down to P5. Ritzy Buffalo is in P2. Still yet to make a pit stop is Ritzy Buffalo. He really is waiting for the rain. JRT Charlie and Sam the Nick still fighting it out for the final podium spot though. Oh, JRT Charlie's had a spin. Surely he's not saved that. No, he hasn't. And he is in the grass at the final corner. As Fast Scopes come into the pit lane. No, so Fire King and Fast Scopes have got past JRT Charlie. So now Charlie is down in P6. Aaron Ocon and FGE Barker fighting further back though. And two quick drivers in this tier just haven't had today go to plan for them. Fire King and Fast Scopes are battling as well. Fire King with the DRS. Is he going to close in on a Fast Scoped? Does he go for the move? No, he will stay behind. FGE Barker though. Is he going to go for a move on Aaron Ocon? Aaron Ocon with 0% ERS. Compared to FGE Barker's 65. That's a late move from Aaron Ocon, but obviously I think it was still legal. Barker does run slightly wide, and that's not a good run, but that's because him and Aaron Ocon are still side by side. Aaron Ocon fights back and takes that P8 back, but as you can see on your screen, the rain is starting to fall. JRT Charlie picked up another 3-second penalty. Communist stays out, so obviously it's not too bad just yet. You can just see the slight bits of water on his halo though. And I think that Barker has just had a spin. Mazepin is now on the back of Fire King. So Fire King must have had a spin as well, but that was very close between them. Fire King must have damage because he just braked through there and almost chopped off Mazepin's wing. Communist does pick up a 3-second penalty, but that's not going to affect him much. Sam the Nick comes into the pit lane. Is that for Inters already? He's getting a front wing change, and the intermediate tyres are on. So we'll go on board with him to see what he is like. First few corners on the intermediate tyres, especially up Eau Rouge, we'll get a good indication of whether the time is right. Just look at that gap between him and Aaron Ocon, still just going up all the time, so I think he's done it too early. But if that gap starts to come down, then that just shows that he has done he has made the right call. But no, he's so much slower than Aaron Ocon, and now Barker will be catching him. Communist effectively has a free pit stop, so he can stop whenever, and then if it's wrong, then he can pit again. But obviously he won't want to do that. Ritzy has to pit. like, he has not made his pit stop just yet. He still has got to change his tyre at some point. As you can see, he has not made a stop just yet. 16 lap old mediums, well, soon to be 17. But Sam the Nick, the only person at the minute on the intermediates, and he has been caught by Barker and has now been passed by FGE Barker. Will we see anyone else come into the pit lane yet? No, I think everyone will be staying out, as Sam the Nick is still dropping further and further back. But no, Aaron Ocon does come into the pit lane. I suppose he's got nothing to lose being further back, and does go for the, I'm guessing he'll go for the intermediates. Oh no, not GSR Thrasher. ARL Aaron Ocon does go for a new set of, well, a 1 lap used set of softs. So clearly does not think it is time for the inters just yet. But if I was him, I would have just gone for the inters anyway, really. As he does lose the car, somehow still in this race. But he has just lost the car up Eau Rouge. So maybe now it is time for the inters. We'll go on board with Sam the Nick, and he is closing in on FGE Barker. Communist is into the pit lane for the intermediate tyres. Sam the Nick, yeah, he is closing in on Barker now, which obviously, like I just said, tells us the intermediates are quicker than the soft, or it is at least just the crossover period. Ritzy is into the pit lane as well, as is Fast Scoped. GRT Charlie stays out. Mazepin now does come into the pit lane. Fire King, will he come into the pit lane? Yes, he does. FGE Barker now with Sam the Nick on the intermediates already, right behind him. Sam looks to go for the move, but Barker's going to want to pit, so yes, he has got to back off slightly there. But will he gain places, will Sam? Yes, I think he'll go to P5, yeah, behind Fast Scoped by some way. No, Fire King is just into his box now, and Mazepin has just come out of the pit lane now, as DRS has been disabled. Communist MV leads by 20 seconds then from JRT Charlie, and then from Ritzy Buffalo. Fire King not far behind Mazepin, but no DRS anymore. A lot of this is just who is the better driver in these conditions. I'm wondering whether JRT Charlie is just going for the stay out and see if he can, you know, do one less pit stop and just keep, keep a P2. Charlie is now the only person on the slick tyres still. Mazepin looks to be struggling in these conditions, as Fire King has caught up to him. And JFT Charlie's out. He tried to stay out on the slicks, and that is why you can see everyone else on the intermediates. But he just did not have the grip and just lost the car. And that moves Sam the Nick up into P4, sorry. Oh yeah, so Fire King has dropped off of the back of Mazepin slightly on this lap. Aaron Ocon just getting past JRT Charlie's crashed car, and Communist will be lapping him now after Aaron Ocon has had a spin. In case his race couldn't get any worse, he has now spun it and is going flat out when he has just spun. That's probably not what you should be doing, but you know. Viking still less than a second behind Mazepin. As they now will be starting lap 21 out of 22. As it already says 21, but that's just because Communist is halfway round the circuit already. So the gap between these two has now increased to over a second. As FG Barker is out of this race now, and Aaron Ocon will, I think he will get even more points now. As Communist MV is just starting his final lap now. You can see on the right hand side of the screen that Mercedes light blue dot on the pit straight. That is Communist MV, our race leader, by 32.5 seconds. And now Aaron Ocon spun again. He may even get lapped by like Ritzy Buffalo and them guys. Actually, I think that Mazepin and Fire King might actually get past Sam the Nick now if we just look at penalties. Yeah, Sam will probably drop down to 2P6. He's going to have to get a move on. So I think that Communist has kind of already accepted the fact that he's won, because the gap is coming down. It has come down by about 10 seconds. And so I don't know if he's just started doing some donuts or something, but the gap is now 22.3 seconds. Fire King might not get within the 6 seconds of Sam the Nick that he needs. Currently, yeah, I think it's changing every moment, so it's kind of hard for me to work out, but I think he may just be out of it. But anyway, Communist MV comes across the line, well, comes out of the final corner, and now takes the checkered flag to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Won every lap, I do believe. No, led every lap, I believe. And yeah, from pole takes the win. Ritzy Buffalo, with a very good strategy, comes across the line in P2. Fast Scoped now takes P3. Communist lost his wing on the final lap. That's what happened. Sam the Nick takes P4 provisionally, but Mazepin takes that away from him. And well, I'll have to see if he did the same. Yeah, if Fireking did the same. Right, so now to just go through the final results. It is Communist MV who wins in Belgium. Ritzy Buffalo takes P2 from 13th on the grid, and Fast Scoped rounds out the podium. Mazepin in P4, Fire King in P5, Sam the Nick takes P6, Aero Aranocon in P7, FGE Barker in P8, JRT Charlie P9, GSR Thrasher. Well, JRT Charlie and below have all DNF'd out of this race. So Thrasher, Joseph F1, Chaz F1, Rusty Leaf 29, and Y Boy Jake. So that will be actually. Actually, I've probably already missed the podium. So that will, yeah, that us here at ABS. This has been here for round 9 at Belgium. So we will see you. Well, Tier 1 is racing on Friday at 6:30 UK time. So if you are interested and want to come over and watch the best drivers in this league race around Canada, then be sure to check that out. And until then, I will see you all next time.